everyone, and welcome to the Kauai County Council Roundup here at Ho'ike Studio. I'm Chairman Rapozo with Vice Chair Kipukai Kualii.
Aloha, everybody.
Thank you for joining us again.
Good thing.
We're going to just recap a very short meeting that we had on Wednesday, March 20th. It was a committee meetings day. We had really just one item, an important item, but we want to encourage all of you that if you want to have an opportunity to watch our meetings, you can obviously watch it here in Ho'ike on Channel 53, or you can watch it on our website, www.kauai.gov. Just hit the webcast meeting button, and you can watch any of our meetings archived, or you can tune in live on Wednesday mornings at 8:30 if you're interested. So with that, let me just start.
Even Chair, before the meeting started, you should mention that we had some visitors.
Yeah, we had a couple of visitors from our sister counties on the mainland. We had two gentlemen, Varlin. What's Varlin's last name?
Oh, I'm
See?
forgetting.
Varlin from Nevada, and I believe Mike from Utah. And these are our counterparts in faraway states, but in rural communities that share many of the same issues that we suffer, or that we have: land use, water, and so forth, solid waste, wastewater. So
They both participate in the National Association of Counties with us, and they're from the Western region. I think one was from Nevada, a county in Nevada, and the other was from Utah.
Correct.
A county in Utah.
made very good friends over the years, and it was nice to have them here, spending a little bit of time on the island. Councilmember DeCosta hosting them. So they're on Lanai today hunting, but they spend a lot of time up on the west side, up in the mountains, hunting here. So yeah, much mahalo to both of them for showing up and participating in a meeting in the beginning. After that, we had a briefing from our solid waste division, our county engineer Troy Tanigawa, and our environmental services manager, basically our solid waste manager, Allison Fraley. And they came up to give us a briefing on what is called a notice of violation. It's a violation that we received back in 2016, and it relates to the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, which is a federal regulation that regulates how we get rid of our discharges at our transfer stations. And back in 2016, we had some problems, and we got a notice of violation and a hefty fine, I believe $136,000. And since then, until we satisfy all of the requirements, the violation is still open. And so I requested an update because it's been a while. It's been 8 years. And so they were up to share with us what they're doing. Basically what happens is the state of Hawaii comes down and they do inspections. They do spot inspections, unannounced inspections. So they were just here a month or so ago, and they did the inspections of 2 of our 4 transfer stations. The next 2 will be done shortly, and we're awaiting the findings of that report. But it really comes down to money, and it's expensive. And the county did go out with a consulting contract to cover or do the repairs on all 4 sites. But when the bids came back in, we could only afford 2. So to the tune of like $14 million.
It was like
so.
16 million.
16 million.
It was 32 for all 4.
So
they are going to start with Kauai and Lihue.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm afraid or concerned that this state report, when it comes out, I'm hoping, and I keep our fingers crossed, that we don't get another fine. But the council basically emphasized to the administration the urgency to get this done, because they've done a good job as far as containing. Since 2016, they've made improvements to the sites. And all we really are required to do is make sure that any of the discharge, the liquids that come off of the transfer station, doesn't pollute any waterways in our county. And it's a challenging task, especially for like the Hanalei, the Princeville transfer station. So obviously we'll be on top of that going forward, but at the end of the day, it just compounds the stress on this county for our solid waste.
Allison was fairly positive. She said that, they're following their recommendations. And I had asked about you know, the fact that it's taking so long, if we can anticipate further fines. And she said that, you know, she's been building relationships with the regulators, the inspectors, and she feels like that as long as they keep moving on the path that they're moving and making the improvements, it's understandable that it takes time because of how much money is involved as well, and that she doesn't anticipate any more fines, but there's no guarantee.
Yeah, there's never a guarantee with the Department of Health when it
The
involves.
turnover and everything.
Yeah. You know, we're dealing with federal regulations. They're very strict, and rightfully so. I mean, we want to protect our environment. We want to be able to collect the trash, but make sure it's done in a safe way so our waterways and our water in general isn't compromised. So that was kind of it for the day.
Well, we had that other item, Chair, where the resolution was, or the bill that, about the community property assessed financing, and that we basically deferred it because the legislature is looking at the issue right now, and it'll impact the bill. So why start working on the bill until we know where the legislature is on it? So that one's deferred until May 22nd,
Yeah.
after the legislature closes.
You know, oftentimes when we put forth bills in our county council and there's related bills going through the state legislature, as Kipukai just said, it's not wise to move forward on our bill that may end up being in conflict with the state law. So Councilmember Bulasan introduced this bill, and he requested the deferral because of the action that's happening at the state capitol. So we will be hearing that bill again once the legislative session ends and we see the outcome of their bill. So we really had very little discussion on that matter, but yeah, it was deferred and it'll be deferred until May 22nd.
The bill basically has to do with the conversion of cesspools to septic, or maybe connecting with the sewer, and the enormous cost that is involved. So it's giving people the financing option tied to their real property tax, much like what was done a few years back for solar panels.
Yeah, and in fact, it's actually, it can be used for HVAC systems as long as it's creating efficiency. And the only caveat is that it's only available to commercial properties and not residential, which is frustrating because I think the residents really could use this. And basically, it's a financing option. I'm not going to get into detail, but it's a financing option that provides lower interest loans to commercial properties or business owners that want to improve the efficiencies of their operations, hospitals, big corporate buildings that want to improve on the efficiencies of their building. They can utilize this program. So it's a great program, and we just got to wait and see what happens at the state.
I think there was even a nonprofit, right, involved with managing it.
Correct.
And basically, it's allowing you to pay for those improvements over time.
A lot longer time than it would be for a traditional loan available to. So if you're into the bank, for example, and you wanted to redo your let's just say HVAC, your air conditioning system, you want to put in a much more efficient system. If you went to the bank, you could amortize a loan over 7 years, where this one will give you 30. So obviously the payments are less, the interest, you pay less interest. So yeah, great program for business owners and commercial properties. And maybe one day we'll get that available for the local residents, especially with the cesspool conversion deadline coming up.
2050 is coming.
Sooner than we would like. Anyway, that's it, man. It was a pretty quick meeting. Again, any closing thoughts?
No, it's always a pleasure working with you, Chair.
Oh, thank you. Likewise, and don't forget www.kauai.gov, webcast meetings. Click on that link and you can see any meeting you want to watch if you want to. You can watch it live on Wednesdays at 8:30. And of course, Hoike Channel 53, which we so appreciate them making this available to us and getting the word out to all of you. So with that, man, if that's it.
Yeah, mahalo to Hoike.
Until next week.
Aloha.
Aloha.